Welcome to Session 1 on Casting a Vision. Over the next 6 segments, we'll talk about all the important things you need to consider and do to prepare yourself for scholarly writing and publication. Let's begin with Segment 1 Setting the Stage for Success. No one wants to begin a project, to begin an endeavor, and not be successful. You're all here because hopefully you want to be successful with scholarly writing and publication. So, how do you cast a vision? Where do you come up with your idea? Where do you find motivation? These are things you should consider. I like to use this model. It's called backward design. It's out of the realm of education. It is the 3-part process. It states that before you can plan anything, before you can say you're going to achieve anything, you need to do these 3 steps. Step 1 is to identify the desired results. What are your goals? Where do you want to go with this? Do you want 6 publications in 2 years? Do you want 10? Do you want 1? What's your goal? Where do you want to go with this? The second step is to determine the acceptable evidence. So what's the proof that you've achieved your goal? If your goal is to have 6 publications in 2 years, your acceptable evidence would be 24 months and 6 peer-reviewed, journal-accepted publications, perhaps. So you need to know where you're going. You need to know how you will know when you're there. And then lastly, you start planning the steps accordingly. You work backwards from the goal to the evidence to the steps that will get you there. A lot of folks' inclination is just to pick up a pen and start writing or to start typing or doing whatever they need to do to get the plan going. They want to plan the activities accordingly first instead of last. So this is just one method of thinking about it, but I want to challenge you to identify your desired results first. Then, lastly, start planning the activities that will get you there. I love this quote from Seth Godin. The secret of leadership is simple. Do what you believe in, paint a picture of the future, go there, people will follow. Now, it's not necessarily about scholarly writing and publication, but it is about leadership. And I think to be a good writer and a published scholarly author requires some degree of leadership. I think we all have passion. That's the do what you believe in part. I think we have to paint a picture of the future where we want to go. That's that goal statement. That's determine the outcomes, correct? And then we need to go there. We need to take the steps that will get us there. And then it says people will follow. That's his quote, but other things follow, right? The reasons why we're in this, the appreciation, the success in publishing, the success with our careers, the joy that comes from doing something that we love and knowing that we're doing it well. So why do we do research and why do we do scholarly writing and publication? You know, some people are just not writers. That's not their thing. And it's a little bit cumbersome to convince them that they need to be thoughtful about this. They need to be concerned about this. So why do we have scholarly writing and publication? These are 4 reasons that I've got. I'm sure there's plenty more, right? 1, it's essential in the academic process. It's one of those steps that we focus on when we do research, right? We conduct research, then we disseminate our results. That leads to the second point. We want to communicate our scholarship. We want the public, we want our sponsors, we want federal agencies, we want academic committees to be aware of what we're doing and our colleagues. So we want to be able to communicate that. It is a natural extension, right? When we figure out how something works or we make a discovery, we want to share that. That's our natural inclination, and that's a part of the process. And then lastly, it establishes the importance of what we're doing. Perhaps you're the only one in the world looking at this small issue. By publishing, you're letting the world know that it is an issue and that you're looking into it. And the importance of that issue, you can couch it so that folks can see that importance. Just a few reasons. I wonder what other reasons you can think of for why we need to have scholarly writing and publication. So, what do you need to be good in academic writing? What do you need to excel? What are some strategies, some skills, some tips, some tricks? What is it that you need to be successful? I've got a few ideas for you. This is based on, the literature that I've read and the work that I've done. I would say the first one is that if you want to be a good writer, you need to be a good reader. You need to be immersed in the literature yourself. digesting, reading, taking in as much of the academic literature as you can. Secondly, you need to be writing. I think writing is a muscle. The more you write, the more you work at this, the better you'll get at it. Maybe you won't be perfect, maybe you won't be a fabulous writer, but you'll be better than you are today just by practicing, just by trying. Next, discussing, taking those ideas, the things that you're writing about, and sharing them with your colleagues, sharing them with whomever will listen to you. A lot of times it will give you good ideas, it'll give you new insights, it'll give you new questions to ask, and it will lead to better writing. It will also help you with idea generation, right? Just sitting down and making out a list or doing some free writing. These are activities that are in the deeper activities for this session, is doing some idea generation that can help you with your academic writing. Next is improving your understanding of the discipline. There's a level of competency and fluency that are important in understanding your discipline and staying immersed in it. So be sure that you've got the right terminology, whatever the terms are today that are popular and being used, as well as you have a deep understanding of the language of the discipline that you're writing for. And then lastly, that you have a mentor who you can work with, who can review your work and help you improve. Let's look a little bit deeper on mentoring. So research has shown that folks who are educated and trained have increased productivity by 24%. But when you add a mentor into their life who coaches them and helps them, that productivity jumps to 88%. This is from the APQC from 2004. I believe it's still valid today. We need mentors. We benefit from being coached and helped. It just works like that. That's the reason why since the beginning of academia, we've had mentors and trainers. We've had apprentices and all of those pieces because it's so important. So how do you find a mentor? I've got some suggestions here. Academic departments, conferences, academic events, online collaborations. Look across the world. In today's modern technological society, your mentor could be halfway around the world and you never actually meet face to face, but you have a great relationship. What are some things you want to look for in a mentor? Similar goals, the right skills, someone who's successful, a leader in the field, well respected. You can always ask other folks for their opinions and their thoughts on the person or people that you could use for a mentor. And I want to point out that a mentor is not a lifetime commitment to someone. It can be for a season. It can be for just one aspect of what you do. You could have several mentors, and you could also be a mentor to several people at the same time. Some key mentoring skills that you'll want to have if you're going to be a mentor, or that you'll want to look for if you're looking for a mentor, someone who will be an active listener. Not a passive listener, but someone who's actively engaged while you're communicating with them. Someone with whom you can build trust. Someone who will help you determine your goals. Someone who can help you build capacity within yourself. And someone who will also encourage and inspire you. Next, let's look at the formal mentoring relationship. So these are 7 steps. And as I mentioned before, a lot of times a mentor is just going to be with you for a season or for a task or for a project. So when we're talking about scholarly writing and publication, there are formal mentoring stages. These are not the lifelong brotherhood or sisterhood or family of academia that you might think of. These are here for a reason, right? You exchange information initially. You start building a relationship through sharing. You set goals together of what you want the relationship to achieve, that mentoring relationship. You want to start working towards those goals together. Over time, that will deepen the engagement. When you achieve the goals or you set the goals aside for whatever reason, you end the relationship. And before you completely, stop talking to each other, you do a little future planning and talk about where are we going? What's the next steps? And hopefully you'll get some keys to success. If you're the mentor, you'll find out what you did right, what you did wrong, and how you can improve next time. Same thing goes for the mentee or the trainee. You'll find out what you did right, what you did wrong, and how you can do better next time as a mentee. So hopefully setting the stage will be easy for you using these steps and some of these tricks and tips. I wish you good luck, and if you need to contact me, please feel free. Here's my email address. I'm happy to help in any way that I can.